Did I just use my flux capacitor to time travel back to 1985? Hey guys, welcome back to the Bald Shredder channel, and yes, today we are checking out an incredible custom shop, one-of-a-kind guitar that looks like it just came out in 1985. But guess what? It's from 2024. And just to get it out of the way, guys, I'm gonna tell you about the graphic that is on the guitar body. Take a close look, guys, here. This is the cover art graphic from my album, Tiger vs. Dragon. And Tiger vs. Dragon was released back in 2020, and I've always just absolutely loved the cover artwork that a friend of mine did for me. And recently, I was looking in one of my Facebook groups, and I saw a guy that had a guitar, a custom guitar made with a picture, like a painting or something, and he took a scan of it and sent it to them, and they were able to print that picture on the body of the guitar, and I went, I can do that? So this guitar, while it says Ricotta on the headstock there, and if you don't know what Ricotta guitars are, well, you need to watch my video from last week where I explain and talk about my own brand of guitar. That's right, guys, Ricotta guitars, that's the Bald Shredder brand. And I got a hold of one of my favorite guitar builders, which is IYV out of Vietnam, and I asked them, can you make this guitar? Can you put the graphic on the body and have it look good? And they were like, yeah, no problem. And look how it turned out. Amazing! Now I'm gonna get more into the guitar, and I've got an all new killer shred song that I'm gonna play on this guitar for you guys. But first, you'll notice I've got the dangly strings up here. Well, that's because I am not done modding this guitar. I've got a set of really cool locking tuners from my friends over at Guyker that we're gonna put on it right now. And I've also got one other little goodie that's gonna go on that guitar. So let's head down to the workbench and start making those mods. Okay guys, now normally you would be just clipping off and taking off the old strings, and you'd be putting on a new set of strings when you change to locking tuners. But because these are basically brand new strings and I've barely used them, I'm just gonna loosen them and take the strings off of the tuning pegs here and then put on the new ones and then put the strings back in. Okay, now that I've got the strings off and everything's clear here, the next step is to remove the old tuners, and we'll do that by starting with the nut. We just need to loosen the nut on the top and then flip it over and undo the little screw that's on the back, and then they'll all come out very easily. Actually, one little mistake there, guys. I should have started by undoing the screws in the back so that I could pop each one out, and it makes it easier to get to the next one. Let me do that. All right, back to removing all of the nuts and washers. Okay guys, old tuners are gone, and all I needed was a simple little wrench and a screwdriver. Very easy to do. Now we're gonna start putting in the new Guyker locking tuners. Look how beautiful those are, and those are gonna match the colors in the guitar perfectly. Start with the one that is closest to the neck and then work your way towards the tip of the headstock, because it just makes it easier when you're trying to turn the wrench and stuff. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to flip it over and line up the little holes and put in the individual little screws. Okay, so I got all 6 screws in, and now I'm going to kind of check and see if they're like flush against the body. And yeah, they pretty much are for the most part. I'm going to flip it back over and see if I still need to tighten any of the washers here on the top, see if they're loose at all after doing that. And if they are, I will give them a little bit of a turn just to make sure they're nice and snug. And you just want to be very careful when you're doing this to not scratch the color, scratch the metal, you know, the paint. It's pretty easy to scratch this stuff, so yeah, you got to be careful. Like I'm trying to be. Switch sides if you need to. Okay, and now we are ready to put the strings back in and lock them down. I got everything installed, all the strings are in there, they were all locked in place. So then I just took my pliers here, my clippers, and cut off all the excess strings. So now it looks much better. Look at that, guys. Really cool looking, right? with the red and the gold. You're gonna see when I show you the whole guitar again, it really matches the graphic great. The only thing I'm thinking about now that I've got these on there, is like, maybe I should go with gold string trees to match that. What do you guys think? Now, I did say there was one other surprise thing that they sent me, and there it is, guys. It's the volume knob. Check it out. Check out the finish on that, right? Swirling around with the blacks, the grays, and the reds. It's gonna match the finish of the guitar body perfectly. So I'm just gonna pop off this one and pop on the new one. Here we go. And this one, guys, it's not necessarily just a push on. It's got the little nut on the side there that you loosen it up. And it even comes with the Allen wrench to do that. So I'm gonna make sure it's nice and loose before I stick it on there. And then I will tighten it after I put it onto the little, and then I'm gonna tighten it down. Look at that, guys. Totally awesome. Looks killer. All right, we're back, and look how amazing these Guyker locking tuners look on this guitar. And the volume knob too. Not only do they look amazing, but the quality is top notch. The packaging was great, so nothing gets damaged. I can't recommend this stuff enough. And if you want to check out these awesome Guyker locking tuners, or the volume knob, or anything else from them, of course, I've got the link down in the description. Now I'm gonna tell you more about the guitar, including a couple of things that they got wrong on my custom order. But first, you guys need to hear me shred on this thing. I've written an all new jam on this guitar just for this video, and I'm calling this one Return of the Tiger. Okay guys, so as I already mentioned, this guitar was made by IYV out of Vietnam. And this is my third completely custom ordered guitar from IYV. There's also this one and this one. And I've also checked out several of their production models. And if you've watched my previous IYV reviews, you know that overall I have been very impressed with the work that they're doing. So what we've got here, guys, is an alder body, maple neck, with a maple fretboard with jumbo, extra jumbo frets. And yes guys, this has 22 frets and not 24 frets. Why? Well, because I was thinking back to those like classic 80s shred guitars. You know, Eddie Van Halen, George Lynch, Warren D. Martini. Those guys all had 22 fret guitars with the cool graphics. But because this guitar is for me, instead of having the Floyd Rose, it's got the hardtail with a full-size humbucker in the bridge and then the Hot Rails style humbucker in the neck. One volume and a 3-way blade, because that's all I need. So now guys, once again, the picture on the body, they did not paint this on. This is not painted. I simply emailed them the picture, like a JPEG. You know, it's gotta be a big file, good quality, clear, but I just emailed it to them and they are able to literally print the picture onto the body of the guitar. Now, because this was a custom order, I'm able to tell them exactly how I want the neck. So I've got a really good thin shred neck profile, like 19 millimeters at the first fret and maybe around 20 or 21 millimeters at the 12th fret. It is such an awesome fast neck. I love it. All right, guys, so now, while I do love the stuff that I get from IYV and I think they do a great job, they do not always get the custom orders exactly perfect. There are some mistakes. So looking at the body here, you guys see that it has binding, right? Well, guess what? I didn't ask for binding. They just put it on there. However, I also didn't tell them not to put the binding. So for future reference, like I guess, you know, if I place another custom order and if I do want binding or I don't want binding, that's something I need to specify. But I'm totally fine with the binding, and actually I think it looks quite good with this. Now, another kind of funny thing that happened is you'll notice it has 2 roller string trees in black, right? That's what I requested. Well, when they showed me pictures of the guitar and saying it's complete, it's ready to ship, and I could see on the headstock there were no string trees. And this has to have string trees because it's not tilted back. And I reminded them, I'm like, hey, it's supposed to have the black roller string trees and the nut. They also had a nut that was like a white color. And I reminded them again that I requested a black graphite nut, which they agreed to. It's supposed to be black graphite, black string trees. Okay, their reply was, okay, no problem. We'll change that, we'll fix that. And they replied back, yep, we did it, it's good to go, ready to ship out. And they didn't show me another picture, so I didn't see it until I got it. And when I got it, yeah, they did put the roller string trees, but they were not black, they were chrome. Which doesn't match, like, you know, the look of the guitar at all. So I don't know if that's a case of they didn't have the black ones and they just put chrome ones on there or what. I don't know, but that's something that they should have checked with me on. And then the nut, I'm not sure if it was a graphite nut or not. That's one of the things that I think IYV needs to get better on, is not just like the color of the nut, but just cutting the slots and making it look a little nicer. Their nuts always have a tendency to look a little sloppy. I don't know. So I took that out. I ordered a Tusk XL nut from eBay for like $12. Not that hard, not that much work to put it in there, and I think it's a better quality nut, and it just looks a lot better with everything. Now the last thing, the pickups. When I placed this order, guys, I specifically asked them to make custom pickups for me because they claim that they can make custom pickups. I wanted a bridge pickup, Alnico 5, high output. I wanted it to have 16K on the output to give me that good 80s sound. They said no problem. Neck pickup, dual blades. I wanted around like 9 or 10K, Alnico 5, no problem, they said. Well, after getting the guitar and checking the output on the pickups, the neck pickup is fine, but the bridge pickup was like 13 point something K. So not anywhere near what I want. Normally, I want a pickup that's at least 15 point something. If it's below that, yeah, I'm probably not gonna be happy with it. And it's not that the pickup sounded horrible, it's just it didn't have what I requested, what they agreed to. So I took out that pickup and I installed a Musiclily high output Alnico 5 pickup, and now I'm getting like around 15.6K on the output. Perfect for me. So those are things to just keep in mind, guys, that you're placing this order, you're placing a custom order. It could be a custom shape, custom color, custom graphic, custom headstock. I mean, really, they'll do just about anything. And most of the time, the price is gonna be extremely reasonable when you compare it to other options for placing custom orders. It's gonna be way less. So I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is it doesn't really bother me that I had to swap out the pickup, that I had to swap the string trees and the nut. It's still totally worth it for getting this amazing guitar. And oh, I didn't tell you guys the price yet. Yeah, you wanna know how much it cost, right? The guitar with the custom graphic, everything, custom headstock shape, all that, $300. And because I had them ship it to me with the neck off in a smaller box, the shipping was about $86, I think. So all in, guys, I paid less than $400 for a completely custom, totally awesome guitar. And the fact that I had to do a few things to it to put it into like totally primo, awesome shred condition, I'm totally fine with that. Now, as we know, this has the Guyker locking tuners. They did put locking tuners onto one of my other custom orders, and I have to tell you guys, the locking tuners, the quality was not that great. Just like the nut quality, you know, their nut quality is not that great. Their pickups are usually like, they're okay, maybe pretty good, but maybe not exactly what I want. So my advice, like if you're gonna place an order, custom order with IYV, don't request like special locking tuners or special pickups or things that you can change out fairly easily on your own. I think it's gonna be better for you to swap that stuff out after you get it, because then you'll know for sure that you're getting what you want as far as locking tuners, nut, string trees, pickups, maybe the wiring inside the pot, whatever. Things that you can change like fairly easily. That's my advice. And if you guys want to get in touch with IYV about placing a custom order, what you need to do is email Mr. Doe. He is the contact person there that handles all the custom orders. Here's his email. I'm also gonna have it down in the video description. So send him an email, tell him you're interested in placing a custom order, and be sure to tell him that the Bald Shredder sent you. Alrighty guys, so that pretty much does it for my custom Ricotta killer, awesome Tiger vs. Dragon graphic shred 80s guitar. Be sure to let me know what you think of this down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.